Dallasaurus, 3 feet long, 4 pounds, the smallest mosasaur ever found, and the most important, it lived 92 million years ago in Texas. It still had functional legs with separate toes, not flippers. It could walk on land. It looked like a small monitor lizard that spent time in the water. It's the missing link between land-dwelling lizards and the marine giants that came after. Before Dallasaurus, primitive forms like Halisaurus and Carinodens had only been found in the Adriatic and the Middle East. Dallasaurus was the first discovery in North America and confirmed that at least 3 separate mosasaur lineages evolved flippers independently. An amateur fossil collector found the specimens on a construction site being cleared for a housing development in Dallas County. It took 16 years before it was officially described. Tethysaurus, 10 feet. Morocco, 93 million years ago. Its limbs were already partially modified into flippers, but it was still primitive. It marks the transition. It no longer walked on land like Dallasaurus, but it wasn't the marine torpedo that mosasaurs would eventually become. Along with Mosasaurus from Texas, it represents the point where mosasaurs began rapidly diversifying across the Cretaceous oceans. From that moment, within just a few million years, mosasaurs filled niches ranging from coastal fish hunters to open ocean apex predators. Halisaurus and Carinodens, the small ones. Halisaurus was 10 to 13 feet long, slender body, small head, thin teeth, an agile fish hunter that lived between 80 and 66 million years ago. Fossils show up in North America, Africa, and Europe. Along with Eonatator, a close relative at just 8.5 feet, it filled the mid-sized predator niche. Something like modern dolphins. Carinodens was even smaller, 10 to 12 feet, with bulbous teeth for crushing mollusks and sea urchins in shallow water near the shore. Fossils in the Netherlands, Morocco, and Jordan. Both survived until the very end of the Cretaceous. Mosasaurs that chose not to compete with the giants. They stayed small, stayed shallow, and ate what nobody else wanted. Clidastes, 13 to 20 feet. One of the most common mosasaurs in the western interior seaway, the sea that split North America in half during the Cretaceous. Lived between 85 and 73 million years ago. Thin, serpentine body, almost like a sea snake. A complete skeleton of Clidastes propathon at around 15 feet shows an incredibly slender animal. Built for speed and agility, not brute force. Clidastes matters because most paleontologists believe Mosasaurus evolved from something like it. A mid-sized mosasaur that gave rise to the largest lineage of all. It was also frequent prey for the giants. Clidastes' remains have been found inside the stomach of Tylosaurus. Platecarpus, 13 to 17 feet. Nothing special at first glance, but one fossil of Platecarpus tympaniticus preserved internal organs, including the trachea, which branches into the lungs in parallel like in whales, not like in lizards, and the tail. It showed for the first time that mosasaurs had bilobed tails like sharks, with the spine curving downward and a soft tissue fluke rising above. Before that, every reconstruction showed them with eel-like tails. Platecarpus changed our entire picture of what mosasaurs looked like. Globidens, 16 to 20 feet, 75 to 66 million years ago. The name means globe teeth, and it's literal. Spherical teeth, no point, no edge, built purely for crushing. Estimated bite force of 9.7 tons. The strongest of any mosasaur. Turtles, ammonites, bivalves, anything with armor got pulverized. Slow, it hunted on the seafloor, probably at night. Large sclerotic rings suggest vision adapted to low light. Fossils in Alabama, Morocco, Angola, and Brazil. Pannoniasaurus, 20 feet. The freshwater mosasaur, rivers, in Hungary, only described in 2012. Flattened skull like a crocodile's, adapted for grabbing prey in shallow water and possibly even on the riverbank. While every other mosasaur ruled the oceans, Pannoniasaurus went the opposite direction. It returned to rivers like modern river dolphins did millions of years later. It's the only freshwater mosasaur with a formal name. An isolated tooth found in freshwater sediments in the United States suggests other mosasaurs may have entered rivers from the western interior seaway, but concrete evidence remains scarce. Prognathodon, 16 to 33 feet, 12 species, 83 to 66 million years ago, the most brutal jaws of them all. Thick, conical, robust teeth, built to destroy armor. Giant protostegid turtles, thick-shelled ammonites, even other mosasaurs. If Globidens was the specialist, Prognathodon was the destructive generalist. It could crush armor and also hunt regular prey. The largest species, P. currie, reached 33 feet, the size of an orca. Fossils with bite marks from Tylosaurus show these apex predators fought each other. Plotosaurus, 30 to 43 feet. Late Maastrichtian, 70 to 66 million years ago. The most hydrodynamic mosasaur that ever lived. Spinal column nearly rigid all the way to the hips. All movement concentrated in the tail, like a tuna, not a snake. Wide flippers possibly used in breaststroke motions for bursts of speed. Enormous eyes. Smooth, snake-like scales that made it more streamlined. Plotosaurus shows what mosasaurs would have become had they survived. More and more fish-like, faster and faster. Fossils almost exclusively in California, with a juvenile recently identified in Chile. Tylosaurus, 43 to 52 feet. The supreme predator of the western interior seaway. 85 to 66 million years ago. The most distinctive feature, a bony snout with no teeth at the tip, possibly used as a battering ram to stun prey. Stomach contents of Tylosaurus proriger include fish, sharks, the diving seabird Hesperornis, turtles, plesiosaurs, and smaller mosasaurs like Clidastes. Absolutely nothing was off the menu. Bruce, the largest mosasaur skeleton on public display in the world, is a T. pembinensis measuring 43 feet at the Canadian Fossil Discovery Centre in Manitoba. Previously classified as Hainosaurus pembinensis, reclassified in 2010. Close relatives include Pannoniasaurus from New Zealand and Kaikaifilu from Antarctica. Hainosaurus, 40 to 57 feet, possibly the longest mosasaur that ever existed. Described in Belgium in 1885 from a nearly complete skeleton found in a phosphate quarry in the Sipley Basin. The name means lizard of the Haine River. Very similar to Tylosaurus, so much so that the type species H. bernardi was transferred to the genus Tylosaurus by some researchers in 2016. Others argue that dental differences justify keeping it separate. The debate continues, and depending on who you ask, the largest mosasaur that ever lived is either a Hainosaurus or just a very large European Tylosaurus. Mosasaurus, 43 to 56 feet, up to 15 tons. The original mosasaur, literally the first giant marine reptile ever discovered by science. First fossil found in 1764 in a limestone quarry in Maastricht, the Netherlands, decades before any dinosaur was described. Scientists at the time thought it was a fish, then a crocodile. It wasn't until 1854 that someone suggested its limbs were flippers. Mosasaurus hoffmanni was the most robust and heaviest of all mosasaurs. Double-hinged jaws like a snake's, allowing it to gulp down prey nearly whole. Serrated teeth designed for cutting. Endothermic. Warm-blooded, maintaining a constant body temperature regardless of the water around it. Something unique among squamates, which allowed it to thrive even in the cold waters off Antarctica. Close relatives include Plotosaurus, Eremiosaurus, and Mosasaurus. The Maastrichtian age of the Cretaceous is named after Maastricht, where it was found. Mosasaurs existed for just 27 million years, but in that time they went from 3-foot coastal lizards with functional legs to 56-foot ocean predators with flippers, bilobe tails, and warm blood. They dominated every ocean on the planet, colonized freshwater rivers, and evolved forms ranging from shell crushers to high-speed torpedoes. It all ended 66 million years ago, when the same asteroid that killed the dinosaurs took every last one of them with it. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel. Every new subscriber helps us keep making content and exploring the most fascinating animals that ever lived. Hit the bell so you don't miss the next one, and if you want to keep going, check out the video on screen right now.